All right, the last one of bike safety, we are on C for chain, our ABCs. So we talked about in the basic video to make sure you check that your chain is on before you ride. And we do that simply by just lifting the bike up and spinning our pedals forward to make sure that we don't hear any clicking or grinding, that's nice and smooth. So what happens if your chain comes off? That's what we're going to cover in our advanced ABCs here. So what I'm going to do is actually manually take my chain off so that we can see that it's not on, and then from there I will show you how to put it back on. So one nice thing, if you have the ability to know where you are on your gears, that's really important when you go to put your chain back on. So if we look at this bike here, you have two big gears. So this is a 3 gear here, and then this one in here is 2. And many bikes will have 3, so it'd be a 1, which is a smaller one, 2, and a 3. So right now I'm on 3. And then I can look in the back, and there's a lot more gears. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 back here. So I'm on 3 in the front, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 in the back. So 34 is what I'm on. So if you know that, then it's best to put, when you put your chain back on, that you try to put it on the same gear. If not, when you start pedaling, it's going to start changing to try to get it back where it's set for. This bike, it doesn't allow me to see what gears I'm on. If we come on over to this bike over here, we can actually see, right, over here. Okay, so this is your 6, which is the back gear. And then on the other side, it's a 3. So if my chain came off of this bike, I know I'm going to put my chain back on 3, which is the biggest gear in the front. And then 6, which is 6 up from the nut. So if we look here, all right, so not from here, from the inside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's right there. So it's best if you can put it back on. You don't have to put it back on the exact one, but if you do put it back on close enough, then it's going to make for a much easier start. And always, after you put the chain back on, I always pedal with my hand and allow the chain to adjust before getting on, so that that first pedal is in the gears trying to realign. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my chain off. And what's nice is when your chain's off, what I just did is how you put it back on. So now, as you can see, my chain is not connected. It is just hanging down. For the most part, our chain will always pop off of our main gears where your pedals are. Usually not in the back. It'll jump off in the front. So what you want to do is, all bikes, for the most part, except for single speeds, will have a spring load in the back that will give you more chain length to be able to put your chain back on. So in the back mechanism, by where your back gears are, you're going to feel down low, and there's a spring arm that you can pull forward, and then you can also spring it forward to your larger gears. And that's going to give you the ability to put this chain back on. So if I were, without using the back, just trying to pull this chain to get it back on, there's too much tension. I won't be able to put it back on the gear. So I have to use both hands and use this backhand to really pull that extra chain forward to be able to put the chain back on. Now, this mechanism that's right here is what's used to go ahead and shift your gear. So when you put your chain back on, it's best to put it on right by where your gear shifter is. If you try to put it on down below and you go to pedal, you have to pedal backwards first to get it in between your gear shifter. And sometimes it gets stuck in here. So the best part is to try to pull it out and make sure it's free within your gear shift, and then put it on, you can pedal forward. So again, using both hands, you get really messy, so you want to make sure you have paper towel or a rag or something. That's part of it. You all know that from feeling the chain. So I lift up here, right, and I really try to, remember we were 3, I get it in between the teeth. Now, what I could do is, I can either pedal forward, but there's only about 3 links that are on. It's kind of risky because it's probably going to pop off again. So what I'm going to do is go to the back of the bike and use this arm to be able to give me more of the chain that I can actually pull it, right, and get it on the entire way around the gear. And then once I have it all the way on, I can release that tension, and this is where I go ahead and lift the bike up and try to pedal forward. Okay? And then you're back on and you're ready to ride. So, that's the advanced C of how to put your chain back on. If your chain perhaps comes off when you're riding, or when you check your basic ABCs, you realize your chain is off, you want to make sure you get that set, put it back on before you go out riding. All right? That's our advanced ABCs. You've learned a lot. Your bike maintenance should be at a much higher level. Make sure you ride safety, and always wear your helmet. Thank you.